Hi. Despite an increase, in fact, a many-fold increase in number of companies reporting on their sustainability practices, number of companies actually adopting sustainability practices, the impact on the global greenhouse gas emission levels has not been significant. There are investors who are more insistent on sustainable practices, which even get evaluated, and regulators who are increasingly mandating sustainability practices and reporting of companies. In fact, it is now part of doing business, and there is a cost to not being compliant to regulations. But despite all this, the greenhouse gas emissions don't seem to be coming down. Well, we have been wondering about this as well. We at the sustainability practitioners have actually been working around it. If you see the sustainability report of a company, you would find a lot of information, a lot of high definition pictures, and a lot of claims to have been carbon neutral, aim to be carbon neutral, a lot of plans. But despite all this, what is the impact that this actually has? How will you come to know if this company is really practicing sustainability in its day-to-day operations, and that it is serious towards its responsibilities on climate, social, and on governance factors? The sustainability report of a company is the window to the sustainable practices of an organization. If you understand the sustainability report well, you will understand the practice well. But how do you unclutter? Well, that's what I'm here for, to try and make it simple. To start with, look at the MD's message. The MD's message must give the vision of the company towards sustainability. What is it trying to achieve? What it has achieved so far? And how are they planning to go about it? Let there be less talk and more numbers, because numbers are verifiable. Numbers are trackable. So a message that clearly articulates the vision of the company and the path towards achieving it is the first indicator that the company has a strong sustainability practice. The second thing, every business operates in a risk environment. There is no business that does not operate in a risk environment. And sustainability has to link up to the risk and the opportunity profile of the company. So on the sustainability map, look for the material map. Normally, the material map is given as a chart, as a graph. It is a 3x3 or a 2x2 chart. Read through what the material map actually says. It should list out the risks that the business faces overall, not just environmental risks, but list the risk profile of the company up front. Now, many companies hesitate to talk about their risk profile. So you will find a few points there. However, the more the disclosure on the risk profile, greater is the confidence of the company and the sincerity of the company in dealing with the risk. So the first thing that we look for is the material map. However, be mindful, risks bring opportunities. So if the company is mapping its risks, it should also be mapping its opportunities. The second thing that you should look for in the material map is how are they planning to address the risks and the opportunities. Now, If you find a material map missing, it fundamentally means their sustainability practice may not be completely aligned to the company's risk profile, the company's assessment of environment, social, and governance risks and opportunities, and probably not aligned to the profit motive of the company. Now, why do I say profit motive? Every business exists for the profit. Sustainable practices give a very strong advantage to a company, not just in their brands, but also in terms of internal efficiencies and impact their P&L, their top line, their bottom line, and probably both. So look for a strong, well-written material map on their sustainability report. The next thing that you should look for is the stakeholder mapping. Now, the stakeholder mapping must identify the key, what I call touch points of their stakeholders with the business. It is not about where the stakeholders fit. Like, for example, if your suppliers are a stakeholder, it is not about where they fit into your business, but it has to be what is the equation or the relationship between the stakeholder and the company. The success of the stakeholder, how does it impact the company? The failure of the stakeholder or the supplier in this case, how does it impact the company, and what are the mitigation activities that the company is undertaking? This should be clearly listed out in the stakeholder mapping. In fact, if you find a stakeholder mapping which clearly articulates how the company is going to mitigate the risk, what is the frequency that it's going to connect with the stakeholders, and what are the key touch points, and which are the functions within the organization which will be responsible for it. That is an indicator of a very strong practice. The next one, and a very important one, are your KPIs. Now, at the sustainability practitioners, we use the balanced scorecard approach. So we draw the strategy map for the sustainability function. Now, when we do this, we are aligning sustainability practice of the company to the profit motive of the company, and with a key focus on not just profitability, but equal focus on business continuity and impact on environment becomes the key themes of the balanced scorecard. So when you're looking at it, look for these three. Whatever sustainability practices are being done, whatever KPIs have been listed up, it must impact profitability, it must impact business continuity, and in equal proportion, it must impact the environment. When a company claims that they have been able to reduce their carbon footprint, for example, carbon footprint by 10%, the first question that normally would come to our mind is how? And it is the KPIs that should answer that. But where do these KPIs come from? They come in from the material map and the stakeholder map. KPIs are not drawn out of the blue. It is linked. This is how sustainability function engages with all stakeholders. This is how sustainability function maps to the risk and the opportunity profile of the company and is aligned to the business objectives, which is the profit motive of the company. So the KPIs must clearly list that out. Look at the measures that is being used. It should not be an eyewash. It should be specific. Numbers are important. Claims and intentions are good. In God we trust, the rest we track. The next thing that you should look for, the fourth and equally important, is the stakeholder communication framework. How does the company plan to communicate its sustainable practices to various stakeholders? What will it communicate? What is the frequency that it will communicate? How will it communicate? Will it be an email? Will it be a vendor meet? Will it be an employee meet? Will it be just filing of all the returns which is required mandatorily, or is it going beyond? And which are the functions within the organization that is going to be responsible? So if you get these four, you will get a much concrete understanding of how serious the company is, how verifiable and impactful the company's sustainability practices are in actually achieving its climate goals and aligning the sustainability functions to achieve its own goals. Thank you so much for your attention. This is Captain Tapas Majumdar, Founder Director of the Sustainability Practitioners.